Hi, my name is Sierra Ray, and today I'm going to walk you through the process of installing WordPress on your local computer. WordPress is a content management system for websites, and it makes it easier for us to manage them. The natural environment for WordPress and other content management systems is on a web server. The purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to install WordPress on your local computer. The reason we are installing WordPress on your local computer is that it allows you to design themes, plugins, and content to your website without disrupting the live server or causing something to go wrong. This tutorial is for someone who is familiar with WordPress and some basic web design skills. If you are not familiar with either, it may be a good idea to watch tutorials on WordPress and some basic web design before watching this tutorial. Because WordPress is meant to exist on a web server, we must install a local server on our computer to make this work. I'm on Windows and I prefer WAMP server. There are others. For this tutorial we're going to be using WAMP. Once WAMP server is installed, we'll be using phpMyAdmin to install and configure a database required to install WordPress. Once we have WAMP and phpMyAdmin set up, then we will install WordPress on our local machine. Let's get started. Alright, so let's go to our browser and let's open up www.wampserver.com and let's click on download, and then we're going to choose WAMP server 64 bits. My computer is 64-bit, and if you have a Windows computer within the last 4 to 5 years, most likely it's 64-bit, but if you don't know, it's best to just choose 32-bit. So I have already downloaded and clicked install. I'm just going to accept the agreement and we're going to install WAMP server here. I chose my regular C drive. Just know where your directory is for wherever you're installing WAMP server. Just click next and install. And I'm going to pause the recorder as this gets installed, and then we'll go to the next step. Next, we're going to go configure phpMyAdmin. So you want to go in here and type localhost /phpMyAdmin. You're going to use root as the user, and you're going to leave the password blank. First, we want to create a database user with a username and password. We're going to click user accounts. And we're going to go down here and add a user account. I'm going to go WP_user, but you can use whichever username, just know what you put in. Password, I'm just going to use 1234 for this tutorial. Enter in it again. Down below, we're going to create data and structure, but we don't want to give it global privileges. I'm just going to click go. So we've created our user. Now we need to create our database. I'm just going to use the name WordPress. And then we created the database, and that's all we have to do there. Okay, now just go to wordpress.org. Click on Get WordPress. And then you're going to click on Download 4.8.9. I've already got one downloaded here. And you're just going to open it. So we just clicked on Open WordPress. And then I want to click here. And I want to extract them to a certain folder. We want to use the same folder that we installed WAMP server in, and the C drive was where I put it. Click on WAMP server 64, and we want to put it in the www folder. Once it's all unzipped, we're going to go back to our browser, and we're going to type in localhost/WordPress, because that's the directory we installed it in. And this is going to take us through our WordPress setup. So now we have the local server installed, we have the database installed, and now we are installing WordPress. So I'm going to hit English and continue because that's the language I speak. So we need to reference that database name, the database user, and the database password. Just going to click on Let's Go. WordPress was the database. WP user was the user. And I just used 1234 as the password. And everything else is good to go. You're just going to click Submit. And now it says everything's good to go. We just need to click Run the installation. Now that we have succeeded in adding the database information, we need to create a site title. Let's say test site. Username is, I'm Sierra, so I'm going to use Sierra 00. Any password is fine because we're just setting this up. We're not doing much to it. I'll put in my email. Discourage search engines from searching. And then now we're officially installing WordPress. And so now if we just go to localhost /WordPress, and our installation worked. Now we have a local WordPress installation and we can start our work. Now that WordPress has been installed to your local machine, you'll be able to design content, themes, and plugins without distraction. If you have any questions about WordPress, please visit the WordPress Codex at codex.wordpress.org. And if you have any questions about WAMP server, please visit https://wampserver.net/en. Thank you for tuning into my tutorial.